This is a Lion Online Radio TV. Good day and welcome to our news update. Here we bring you a combination of major stories from around the world and important developments from Western Nigeria. Stay tuned as we keep you updated. Here are the news. Gulf economic suffer brunt of Iran war as recession rates lumps. In details, state and Iran-Israel war with Iran reverberates across the globe. The economies of the globe are suffering some of the worst damage. Iran has launched continuous attack on Gulf states since the onset of the conflict on February 28, arguing that it is attacking military bases used by the US for the war. Gulf nations have rejected Tehran's claim, insisting that the attack on them are unjustified. This Iranian strike has uplifted energy productions and inflicted major disruptions to tourism and travel, putting the region at risk and some of the most severe economic harms since the 1990s to 91 Gulf War. Disruptions to aviation, tourism, shipping routes, and energy exports, combined with higher insurance premiums and freight costs, means the region is like losing hundreds of millions of dollars per day in economic activity, said Khalid Al-Mezani, an associate professor of politics and international relations at Zayed University in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. The exact scale will depend largely on how long disruption to trade routes, ports, and airspace continue. After more than 2 weeks of war, the economic impact on the region has already been substantial. Middle Eastern oil producers' daily output declined from 21 million barrels to 14 million barrels after a little more than a week of conflict amid the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, according to Western Energy. Output is expected to drop substantially further if commercial shipping continues to avoid the strait amid terror threats, with Western Energy predicting a decline to 6 million daily barrels in a worst-case Afghan security. Families after gathered outside a drug treatment center in the Afghan capital, Kabul, looking for their loved ones after it was hit in a Pakistani airstrike, which Taliban authorities said killed 408 people. The attack on Kabul Omar Addiction Treatment Hospital took place at about 9 p.m. local time, 16:30 GMT on Monday. Bayalia Emery, a 30 years old mechanic, was at the 2,000-bed facilities on Tuesday to look for his brother, who was admitted about 25 days ago. "We are not given the proper information," Emery told the AFP news agency as rescuers picked through the rubble nearby. "So far, we don't know where he is." Afghanistan and Pakistan have been in conflict for months, with Islamabad accusing its neighbor of harboring armed groups that have mounted deadly cross-border attacks. The latest round of violence that began last month, 2 days before the world focus shifted sharply to the US-Iran war on Iran, is the worst ever between the neighbors. The two nations share a 2,600-kilometer (1,600-mile) border. The conflict has ebbed amid attempts by friendly countries, including China, to mediate and end the fighting before flaring up again. Pakistan denying Afghan claims that its latest attack targeted civilians, instead insisting that it carried out precision strikes on military installations and terrorist support infrastructure. Pakistan targeting is precise and carefully undertaken to ensure no collateral damage is inflicted, the Minister of Information and Broadcasting said. Islamabad dismissed the claim as false and aimed at misleading public opinion. The health authorities said there were about 3,000 patients from across Afghanistan at the clinic at the time of the attack, which triggered panic in Kabul just after residents had broken their daily Ramadan fast. The United Nations special reporter on the situation of human rights in Afghanistan, Richard Bennett, said he was dismayed by reports of the air raid and civilian casualties. I urge parties to de-escalate, exercise maximum restraint, and respect international law, including the protection of civilian and civilian objects such as hospitals, he said and posted on X. Analysts said US threats of no quarter have for Iran violates international law. In details, rights groups have slammed United Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth for saying that no quarter will be shown in Iran as the US and Israel continue their military campaign against the country. We will keep pressing, we will keep pushing, keep advancing, no quarter, no mercy for our enemies, Hegseth told reporters on Friday. Under the Hague Convention and other international treaties, it is illegal to threaten that no quarter will be given. Domestic laws such as the 1996 War Crime Act also prohibit such policies. US military manual likewise warned that threats of no quarter are illegal. Brian Finucane, a senior advisor at the International Crisis Group, a think tank, said Hegseth's comment appears to run afoul of those standards. These comments are very striking, Finucane told Algeria over a phone call. It raises questions about whether this belligerent, lawless rhetoric is being translated into how the war is being conducted on the battlefield. But Hegseth have publicly dismissed concern about the international law, claiming he would abide no stupid rule of engagement and no political correct war. This rhetoric has provoked concern among some experts that measures designed to prevent civilian arms are being ignored in favor of campaign of maximum lethality. US Senator demand probe into appalling attack on schoolgirls in Iran. In details, top Democratic senator in the United States has called for an investigation into strike against a girls' school in southern Iran, saying that the Pentagon must provide clear answer about the incident that killed at least 170 people. Six lawmakers said in a joint statement late on Sunday that they are horrified by the bombing of the elementary school in Minab during the opening US-Israeli strike against Iran on February 28. The killing of school children is appalling and unacceptable under any circumstances, said the senator who served as the top Democrat on national security panels. The push comes as new footage of the attack suggests that the site of the school was likely hit by a Tomahawk missile, a weapon used by the US that Israel and Iran does not possess. The bombing of the elementary school in Minab has become emblematic of the growing civilian death toll from the conflict. Iranian officials have said that US and Israeli airstrikes have damaged other schools as well as dozens of medical centers, residential buildings, street markets, a water desalination plant, and other civilian targets. US and Israeli attacks have killed 1,255 people, mostly civilians, in Iran since the start of the war. According to Deputy Health Minister of Ali Fajaran, they were living in their homes or were at their workplace, the health minister told Algeria in a TV interview. How US-Israel war on Iran deepened Gaza crisis. In details, first, US-Israeli attack hit Iran on February 28. Concern begins to surge in the Gaza Strip over how the latest conflict might affect a population already suffering from a genocidal war that has lasted for more than 2 years. With tension expanding across the region, the situation in Gaza has been growing increasingly complex. Israel has tightened its its grips on the territory crossing, further restricting the entry of vital humanitarian aid. Meanwhile, violations of a ceasefire agreement reached with the Palestinian group Hamas in October continue unabated. But as global focus turns to the unfolding regional war, many fears that Gaza will be relegated to the secondary issues, even as more than 2 billion Palestinians in the Basin territory remains trapped in an extremely fragile humanitarian and political situation. The war with Iran has given Israel broader space in intensifying its crimes in Gaza, while the humanitarian situation has deteriorated rapidly due to several restrictions on the crossing. Rami Abdul, head of the Arab-Med Human Rights Monitor, told Al Jazeera Israel closed the crossing into the Strait on the first day of the war with Iran, disrupting the entry of trucks carrying humanitarian aid and essential supplies. The move also hindered the travel of patients and wounded people, prompting widespread concern as thousands of patients have been waiting to travel abroad for treatment after Israel wars decimated Gaza healthcare system. Diving into the western Nigeria, Ondo Police FAAN disagree over Akure bandit arrest. In details, the Ondo State Police Command on Monday disagreed with the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria over the number of suspected arrested at Akure Airport on Sunday. The command also disagreed over the suspected claiming that they were bandits but not criminals. The managing director of FAAN, Olubunmi Kuku, confirmed in a statement on Sunday that four suspected bandits were arrested through a collaborative effort involving multiple security agencies. She said, "We have alerted the CP, the Brigadier General of the Army Cantonment, the MAC, and their men are also involved in collaboration with AVSEC. The joint operation was successful as four suspected were apprehended and they have been handed over to the police." However, the Commissioner for Police Adebowale Lawan, during a show of force exercise by Joint Security Agency, said two suspected were arrested in connection with the incident, contrary to FAAN claims of four. Lawan clarified that the suspects were criminals, not bandits, and were not arrested on airport premises. He stated, "Let me quickly debunk the issues of the arrest of four bandits. We don't have bandits in Ondo State, we have criminals, not bandits." Two suspected logistics suppliers to all those criminals and kidnappers were arrested along the Eleyowo and Iluabo axis. Ekiti ex-deputy speaker rejects consensus move for assembly seat. In detail, chieftain of All Progressive Congress and members of Ekiti State House of Assembly, Hakeem Jamiu, has dismissed the purported endorsement of ex-governor Ayodele Fayoshe's sons, Boluwatife Fayose, as the consensus candidate of the Ifelodun State Constituency 2 seat. Jamiu, a former deputy speaker of the assembly, said the All Progressive has not approved a census process for selecting candidates for the 2027 state and national assembly primaries. The lawmaker, in a statement made available in Aiyedatiwa on Monday, the nine claimed that he was among stakeholders who endorsed Fayose for the House of Assembly seat during a constituency meeting held in Iworoko Ekiti in Irepodu, Ifelodun local government area on Saturday, March 14, 2026. He said that although he attended the meeting, he did not participate in any endorsement and has clearly expressed oppositions to the alleged consensus arrangement. The lawmaker urged his supporters and association to disregard support, suggesting that I was part of the endorsement. Consensus required the agreement of all stakeholders, which was not the case. Jamiu stated at the last stakeholder meeting held at Jigawa Hall, Government House, Aiyedatiwa, the party only approved consensus arrangements for chairmanship and councillorship position. No further meeting has been held to extend the arrangement to legislative seats. It is embarrassing for me as a sitting member of the House of Assembly to be invited to a meeting in my constituency only to be conscripted by ambush into a pre-arranged consensus endorsement, Jamiu said. Has demonstrated commitment, stability, and purposeful leadership in steering the affairs of the state and should not be distracted by unnecessary litigation. He stated, people should not distract the governor with unnecessary litigations. He is doing well in the state. His administration has continued to place the welfare of people at the center of governance while enduring and ensuring that development reach every part of the state. In the area of infrastructure, the administration has continued ongoing projects and initiated new ones aimed at improving transportation, boosting economic activities, and enhancing. That brings us to the end of our news update. I am Oluwatoyin Elebute. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more at Alayo Online Radio TV. Thank you for watching.